And I'd like to welcome you all to our Tuesday 1:30 p.m. session with the Legal Counsel for the Elderly, where today they will be talking about the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. I'm going to read our disclaimer before we get started. The WildTech DC Senior iPad program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the information, any apps or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners, or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer. If you cannot see us or hear us or see the screen, please let us know in the chat. We would appreciate that. Let's make sure to keep our TVs and cell phones silenced to give others and ourselves the most immersive experience. And I always recommend you take notes or screenshots so that way you can review the information for later if you would like. Other than that, again, Robin, if you could introduce yourselves and your topic for today, we'd appreciate that. I'm here to assist with the hands and the questions as well. But once again, thank you so much for joining our session today.
Yeah, thank you for having us. My name is Robin Griffin. I'm a senior attorney at Legal Counsel for the Elderly in our economic and healthcare security practice. And I will turn it over to my colleague to introduce herself, and then we'll get started.
Hi, everyone. My name is Samora Bazell, and I am the legal associate for our self-help office. I tend to help people with a lot of these applications, and so I was very excited when Robin said that she'd be meeting with you guys today to share a little bit about this program since it's just reopened in October. So we're hopeful that you guys will have lots of questions, and I'll be talking to you guys a little bit later to walk you through the process.
Great. So let me share my screen. Okay. And can you all see the PowerPoint?
Oh, you're good to go. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Let's get started. So again, good afternoon, and thank you for having us here to speak to you about Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, also known as LAHEAP. As I said before, my name is Robin Griffin, and my colleague is Samora Bazil, and today we're going to talk to you about the LAHEAP rules, eligibility, income limits, and how to apply. At the end, Samora will show you how to apply from your iPad, and then we'll end with a few other utility programs that you may be eligible for. So let's get started. Again, we're from Legal Counsel for the Elderly in the economic and healthcare security practice. We work to ensure that seniors receive the income, benefits, and services to which they are entitled in order for them to live independently in their home. Okay, so what is LAHEAP? Again, LAHEAP stands for Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. And if you are eligible for LAHEAP, you will receive between $250 to $1,800 as a one-time regular energy assistance benefit. If your utilities are disconnected, or maybe you've received a disconnection notice, you may receive a one-time emergency benefit up to $750. Keep in mind, even if you don't qualify for the LAHEAP assistance, you may qualify for the Utility Discount Program, also known as UDP, and that will result in a percentage discount off of your utilities. This came in handy the last few months before the new fiscal year started October 1st. DC ran out of LAHEAP funds. And so although we weren't able to help clients to get LAHEAP in the last few months, we were able to sign up for the utility discount program where they receive that percentage discount off their utilities. The good news for everyone here is that the funding came in October 1st. So if you do apply let's see, you'll be able to access LAHEAP funds. All right, so what do you need when you apply for LAHEAP? You do need certain documents to support your LAHEAP application. You'll want to bring a copy of your government-issued photo ID, a copy of your Social Security card. You need a copy of your utility bills, and this includes the gas, electric, and water bill. It's important to note that the utility bills must be in your name. It must be addressed directly to your home and not like an apartment ledger or to a landlord. Finally, you need proof of income, and you can provide this by a check stub from your employer, or you can provide your Social Security award letter to show your income. And if you do not have income, then there is a no income affidavit that they do want you to complete and notarize and attach to your application. So again, to apply for LAHEAP, you want your ID, copy of your Social Security card, copy of your utility bills in your name, and proof of income. So what are the income limits for LAHEAP? In order to be eligible for LAHEAP, you have to meet the income guidelines. For a family of one, your income has to be at or below $57,571. If you're a family of two, your income must be $75,286 or less to qualify for LAHEAP. For a family of three, your income must be less than $93,001 to qualify for LAHEAP, and so on. And while I'm pausing at this page to allow you to find your household size and income, I do want to share why it's important to include your gas, electric, and water bill. Even if LAHEAP only applies to maybe your Pepco bill or maybe your gas bill, if you submit your water, gas, and electric bill, you can sign up for UDP, which will give you a certain percentage discount off of your bill every month. So that's why it's important, even if like, you know, your gas is about to get disconnected or you want help with your electric, submit all of the bills with the application so you can get that UDP monthly discount. All right, any questions about the information we've covered so far?
Thank you so much, Robin, for sharing this information. It's so important because each program may have different income guidelines or different required documentation. So it's everything's been very simple so far. So thank you. If you have a
Yeah.
question so far for Robin, please raise your hand in Zoom. First up is Gracie. Thanks so much for joining. You have a question or comment for Robin?
Yes, Robin. A neighbor of mine, I was telling them they were having trouble with their bill, and I told them I get LAHEAP, and I was telling them about it, and I was telling them what they needed to apply, and they said that their electric and their gas bills, they don't get paper bills, it's just deducted monthly. So what would they do for a copy of their bills if they don't get a physical paper bill?
That's a great question. I imagine they could call maybe if they get like if their bills are emailed to them or sent to them electronically. If they're submitting the application online, they could send it that way. Or if they have the number to Pepco or Washington Gas, they could maybe call and request a
Okay.
paper bill. Samora, do you have any thoughts on how seniors can get copies of their bills?
Absolutely. So very similar to like when you do online banking, there is a statement that they produce. And so if you go online, usually each month when they send you that email that says, hey, it's time to pay your bill, there is a like statement portal and it'll pull up as a PDF and you can just attach that to the online application. If someone is doing the paper application, they'd have to print that out. So you can always, email it to yourself or save it in some format. And that way, when you're submitting the paper application, can submit it that way. So it's a little tricky sometimes on the Pepco website. And so you can always give them a call and ask them to walk you through it. Or you could have them send you a paper bill and just say, hey, for 1 month, I need a paper bill so that I can apply for LAHEAP. And they'll understand why you need it.
Okay, I can tell them that. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Samora. So, oh, yes.
Yes, thank you, you all for answering that. Appreciate it. There's 2 hands I see, and there's also a question in the chat. Do you still qualify if you have community solar? So is LAHEAP contingent on not having any other benefits, et cetera? And the other part is, can you still do district direct? I'm not sure of that question. Are you able to assist with that, you all?
Yeah, I believe you can receive other benefits and receive LAHEAP as long as you have, Washington Gas or Pepco for electricity. You can apply for LAHEAP. Samora, do you have any thoughts on that?
So and please let us know if we're making a mistake in your understanding here, but it won't affect things like if you're thinking like your SNAP or your Medicaid or Medicare, things like that. This is a completely separate program, so it's not going to affect any of those things. You'll still be able to apply as long as you meet the other qualifications that Robin has already outlined. So it won't affect any of those things. The application is not tied to the District Direct app or website or anything like that. And I'm going to show you how to go through the online application. And so you'll see it's completely separate. So you won't have to worry about it affecting those things. I think that was your question.
I think that answered it. Thank you. Yep. Samora will be showing us at the end again to how to apply online through your iPad. So make sure you stay on for that. 3 hands, and then I think we'll move on. Is Anne, thanks so much for joining. Question or comment for the legal counsel?
Oh, yes, I have one question. Oh, and to answer the solar problem, yes, you can get IHEAP with solar. Okay. If you have a difficulty getting in touch with these companies, can we come to you?
Oh, yes, we help with these applications, LAHEAP.
Okay,
We-
okay, because the gas company is a really a agitation place.
I understand sometimes dealing with organizations, it's really frustrating. So we're here to help, with the application and walk you through the process. So I'll be sure to put our number in the chat at the end, if you want to reach out to us for help with the LAHEAP application.
Okay, Robin.
Of course.
I had talked to Kathy about it the other day, so
Great.
yeah. She told me to talk to you, so I will. I'll call you.
Yeah, we're happy to help.
Okay, honey. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so much, Anne. Again, let's not forget to lower our hands and mute ourselves so that way everyone is able to hear, okay? I would also just recommend the Pepco app. If you get your gas from Pepco, it's a great app to utilize. So just off the top of my head. Diane, thanks so much for joining. You have a question or comment for the legal counsel?
Yes, my question is, I just got on, so I may get it wrong. Do I have to be on Medicaid to get a electric reduction?
No, ma'am, you don't have
Okay.
to be on Medicaid. You can apply for LAHEAP as long as you meet the income requirements and you have the documentation. You don't have to be on Medicaid. And as Samora said, LAHEAP won't, negatively impact your other benefits that you may have. So as long as you meet the requirements, anyone is allowed to apply for LAHEAP.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you for your question. And our last hand that I see is from Ms. Doris. Thanks so much for joining. You have a question or comment for the legal counsel?
Yeah, good afternoon, and thank you for the presentation. My question is, what is District Direct? Because I never heard of it.
Yeah, so District Direct is the DC portal where you can stay on top of your benefits. You can apply for SNAP, Medicaid, TANF, and many other benefits. When you're going through your Medicaid renewal, you can also do it online at District Direct. I think at the last session last month, we went through District Direct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you, I think you did that session about a month or 2 months ago. I can't remember off the top of my head.
right, yeah, and LIHEAP is a different portal through the Department of Energy and Environment. So after I complete these slides, Samora is gonna walk you through how to, access that website on your iPad so you can apply for LIHEAP benefits.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Ms. Doris. 2 questions in the chat real quick. I think some more are going to go over this, but how long is the application generally take?
You have, sorry. So if you have all of the documents, the application won't take more than maybe 20 minutes online. And
Real
I'll,
easy.
yeah, it's very easy, very simple, as long as you have all of the documents. And then to hear back, though, that can sometimes take some time. And so Robin has kind of given some information on some of the in-person opportunities, and that sometimes can be a little bit quicker. But if you're doing it online, it may take up to a month to hear back. They aren't the speediest about it, but it is applied. Once approved, it's applied to your account fairly quickly. And so that's a really good part. So it's best to do it as early as possible. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through the application.
Thank you so much, Samora. And Robin, can you go over the required documents and quickly the income guidelines once again?
Yeah, happy to. So you want to make sure you have a copy of your government issued ID, a copy of your social security card. You want to bring a copy of all of your bills, the gas, electric, and water bills. And then you need proof of income, whether it's a check stub or your award statement from Social Security. And then for a family of one, as long as you make $57,571 or less, you will be eligible. And you notice that they have generous income limits. So you just want to look at what your family size is. And as long as you make under that amount, we encourage you to apply. You're allowed to receive the LIHEAP benefit once a year. So it's better to apply sooner than later because they ran out of money at the end of this last year. It always restarts October 1st. So if you're eligible and you meet the income limits, you'll want to go ahead and apply. I do want to share with you that the Department of Energy and Environment, they started taking applications last Tuesday, and that starting on October 21st, you can call 311 or you can call 202-737-4404 to make an in-person appointment to give an application. And again, that's 311-202-737-4404. You will be scheduled at one of the Energy Assistance Centers located at 1207 Taylor Street Northwest or 2100 Martin Luther King Avenue Southeast. But note, they're not taking any walk-in appointments, so you'll want to call 311 or 202-737-4404 to make that in-person appointment. You can also do a paper application, and they do have the paper applications online. I want to see, no, okay. So at the end, I'll put that in the chat if you'd like to download it and get the paper application. But you'll mail it in to the Department of Energy and Environment. Again, you'll attach a copy of your ID, copy of your social security card, a copy of your gas, electric, and water bills, and proof of income. And you'll mail that with the application on to the Department of Energy and Environment. Okay, and for your convenience, I am going to stop sharing my screen. And, oh, I see we have a question. Gracie?
Oh, okay, I guess any questions before we move on to the actual online application? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Robin, again for showcasing, just all the different options that one can apply as well. So thank you. Gracie, you have a question or a comment?
Yeah, I have a comment. I was going to tell her that, you know, they were talking about, but she's going to explain that now that I never went into the office. I just made a copy, when I applied online and sent in the information they wanted. And that's the way I've been doing it for years.
Oh, that's great. That
Mhm.
sounds good. So
And
you,
I hear from them fairly quickly after they get my application. They let me know they got it, and then I get my monies later.
oh, that's great.
Uh-huh. That's all.
Yeah, that I'm happy you're sharing your testimonial. So
Yeah,
hopefully more people will apply because this really is a great program.
it is.
You meet the eligibility requirements, I would apply to get the assistance.
Right. Thank you.
Of course, thank you. So
Thank you.
I will stop sharing to allow Samora to share and take you through the application.
Yes, more. I made you co-host on your other device as well, so you're good to go. And I did just in our daily emails we also put like links. So I did put the link to the application. Hopefully it's the same one that you'll be using today, Samora. But it's fairly simple, so I look forward to actually seeing how to complete it.
So one of the great things about this is that, I'm sorry, there's going to be maybe two of my face in a second, so I apologize for that. Um, there we go. Oh, no, we didn't get two of my face. That's a good thing.
Oh, you're
Alrighty.
you're spotlighted, so that's why.
Ah, perfect. Okay. So, and it's going to switch there. Perfect. So the website that we have linked will take you to the Department of Energy website, and there's going to be a little bit of a lag. And so this is what it's going to look like when you get onto the website. And that's the website that Alexander has included there. And so it's fairly easy when you scroll through this website. It talks to you a little bit about everything Robin and I have shared today. And so it is a good resource and lets you know everything up to date. Here it has the option for you to apply online, and that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to select that. And then, oh, it logged me out. So give me one quick second while I enter in my information to log us back in. What I will do first is share with you a so to do it online, you are going to have to you're going to have to register. And I'm going to show you a little bit about what the register looks like. It's fairly simple. It doesn't ask you for a ton of information, but I do want you to have an idea of what that looks like so you're not too worried about how much time or energy any of this is going to take.
Oh, it's the registration process. It's not
Oh,
difficult at all. It's a couple of fields,
quick questions.
great information. So
So I will show you a little bit of that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in here so that way you guys can get an idea of what the application looks like. Sorry about that. It'll log you out if you're not in there too long. Okay. Log in. There we go. moment. There, oop. There we go. Woo. Okay, so this is what the main page will look like on your on once you've registered. It'll look exactly like this, and it'll request all of this different information. And I wanted to show you on the iPad so that way you had an idea of what you'd be looking at when you're completing this. The first thing that you'll want to do is select Edit on the personal information. It's going to ask you for all of your information here, and as you can see, some of it has already come over from when I registered. And so it just asks you a lot of different information. It'll tell you exactly what it's requesting. All of these red stars indicate what's important. Your first thing that you'll put in, if you are a US citizen, is you'll include your Social Security number here. It'll ask you to describe your home, if you rent or own, and then what type of dwelling it is. So if it's a single family house or a multifamily house, it'll have you put in your address and everything in here. And a lot of this will have already come over from when you registered. And then after, you'll just hit next and it'll go to demographics. Now it's not going to let me move forward because I don't have all of that information, but I can always go back to the dashboard and then select demographics. Ask for my date of birth, my gender. You'll see that next to race and ethnicity, it doesn't have the little red star, so I don't have to fill that in if I don't want to. And then it'll have a question about citizenship type, and then if I am legally disabled, okay? Then we're gonna go to our dashboard. It's gonna ask info about our income. For those of us who aren't receiving Social Security retirements or anything like that, if we are receiving an income, we'll include that in here. If we aren't receiving any income, we'll hit no, and it'll lead us to something else, but we'll do the income first. It'll pop this up once I say yes, and I'll select add. Now, when I say add, it'll ask the income source. It'll give us all the different options here. If we're still working, we're going to say wages. If we're not still working and we have any type of these incomes, we'll include them here. So a pension, if we're receiving that, Social Security, or SSDI is listed there. So is supplemental security income, SSI, or other, if we're receiving that. And then if we have multiple types of income, so if we're receiving our retirement and we're still working and we're working part-time, we can also include add. And this is one of those things where I always try to remind people that even if you do not qualify for LAHEAP, talking to your neighbors and your friends about it, your children, your grandchildren, if they are working and they fall under these income guidelines, LAHEAP is not just for those of us who are seniors. It's for everybody who just qualifies income-wise to register for it. So it's always a good thing to do every year. And then if we don't receive an income, go back up here. It'll ask if anyone in our household receives an income. If we live alone and we don't receive an income, we can say no. And then it will give us a form, a zero income form that we'll have to sign off on, just saying, I don't receive any type of income. Very quick and easy to fill out, but they're just going to make sure that you aren't receiving any income. Then we're going to head back to our dashboard and we're going to go to household members. This one is going to ask you to list every single person that is in your home, their first and last name, gender, date of birth, and then their Social Security card or number. So that's one of those things where I say when sometimes it can kind of take a long time. As long as you have all of your documents, you can really finish this in about 20 minutes, but you'll want to make sure you have all of these things ahead of time. So the Social Security number for everyone that lives in the household is required. Ask about their citizenship type, and then it will also ask about their income source, if they are receiving income or if they're not receiving income. So you'll do that for yourself and for everybody else. And then it'll ask for your energy account information. So this is the one part where you'll want those documents, right? So it'll ask about your Washington gas, if it's natural gas or LP gas. And then once you enter in that information. We'll say natural gas. It'll ask for your account number. Now, some of us who are married, or if there's multiple people in our household, sometimes the name on our gas account isn't the name of the person applying. That's okay. You'll just want to list whose name it is that's on there. Same thing for your electric and for your water. So you'll go through those. And then for those of you that are receiving oil, you also have a spot on there for CNM oil as well, which is a little bit rare in the district, but I know quite a few people, especially if you have a single family home, still have that. Are there any questions before I keep going?
Just thank you again for showcasing the application. It seems very straightforward, and if, like you said, if you have the documents with you or around you, it's all about just plugging in those numbers, but also just double checking, what you inputted to make sure everything is correct. So again, any questions for Samora about how on what she's covered so far? Hi, Ms. Dolores. Hope you're well.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My question is, I don't receive Social Security, but I get an annuity check and it automatically go into my checking account. So what do I show as far as my income pertaining to that?
So yeah, so you show a copy of that annuity statement. Now, usually they'll send you something kind of at the end of the year, but if you give them a call and let them know that you're applying for something that needs to show how much you'll be receiving each month, they can provide something, they can provide a statement like that. I know sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to get. I've had some people that have had to go kind of back and forth to receive that. But if you do give them a call and say you need something that's showing 2024 and the income that you're receiving from the annuity, they can provide that.
Oh, because like you said, we only receive that once a year. And that
Mhm.
just tells the grand total of what you're getting for the year, but not by the month. So you're saying if I call,
Mhm.
I guess who I call Office of Personnel Management, that they
Mhm.
would supply that?
Yes, yeah. So they will supply that, and I've had people. It does take sometimes a little bit for them to do that. So you'll just provide that. And what you'll see here is when you put in, you'll have an option to put in the amount, and then you'll also have an option to put in the time period. So you can kind of give an idea of like you'll receive that much annually, right? So the amount that you'll receive, that you're projected to receive for 2024, you can put that in there, say it's annually, and then they'll have an idea of kind of why that statement looks the way that it does. And so you can, once you receive that from OPC or whoever it may be, you can enter it in that way.
Okay, so I do have the option of doing it annually then. Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, it's not necessarily giving me the option here to do it, but it will give you the option, a portion eventually to be able to take pictures of your documents. You'll use your iPad camera to do that. As long as your name and the account number for everything is clear, that's one of the things that you'll be able to do from your iPad. The pictures don't have to be perfect. They just have to be fairly legible. And so they can have the background of your table or something. You'll just want to make sure you can include all of that info there. Oh, and Brenda left a really good comment saying that if you go to login.gov, it'll include that information there where you can print out a statement. So thank you so much for that, Brenda.
Yeah.
So this does not work for cable or internet. This is solely for Pepco, Washington Gas, and DC Water discounts. And then the benefit will only be applied to either Pepco or Washington Gas. Okay, so it's primarily for energy. It's not for all the everything there. And then it looks like Yvonne is asking something about a credit balance, and I'm not quite sure I understand what that question is. Yvonne, if you'd like to take yourself off mute for a moment and ask your question.
Oh, do you mind just sharing more information in the chat, Miss Yvonne? We have Diane.
Oh,
That's
I'm
raised
so
her
sorry.
hand. Yeah, it's okay. Hey,
Thank you.
Diane, you have a question or a comment for the legal counsel?
My question is, if you already have a where they let you pay in this, uh, they cut it in installments for 12 months, and you still have a big bill at the end, you can still get the energy.
Yeah, so you'd still be able to apply for this. They would, if approved and you received a credit, the credit would apply to that. It'd
Okay.
apply to your balance. That's there. Yeah.
Okay, and one other question. We have to put our gross income or our annual income. That's where I'm getting mixed up at.
So
And
you
the gross is what we get all year. The annual is what we get monthly.
Okay, so it gives you the option. So when you are in that income area, it'll give you the option to place, kind of put it in however you receive it. So if you receive, income monthly, every 1 month you can put that in, or if you're still working and it's bi-weekly, you can also include that. So it's however you receive the income, you're able to describe it there.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Diane. I see some more comments in the chat. It says, Robin, I think you sent me a direct message. Yeah, I think you meant to send that to someone else.
Yes, I'll send that to everyone. I was responding to Miss Yvonne. She had that great question about refunds. So I just wanted to share that if your LAHEAP funds happen to, oh, I did it again. If they happen to
That was
be,
me. That was me, Robin.
oh, okay. If your LAHEAP funds happen to be more than what you owe on your bill, instead of giving you a refund, they'll just leave it on your account. And then each month your bill will be deducted from that LAHEAP credit. Instead of like issuing you that refund in like cash or something.
Yes, so LAHEAP or Energy Assistance, PEPCO, whatever it may be, if the funds are coming from LAHEAP, they will add that as a credit. It won't be able to be refunded back to you. It won't be cash, it'll just be a credit onto your account. And so that might mean for 4 or 6 or 8 months even, you aren't paying a energy bill because they're pulling from the credit. But that won't be something that you'll receive. It's just a credit on your account. And there is no way to make that into cash for you to receive. It'll just stay as a credit until it's finished paying out.
Thank you for explaining that. I appreciate it.
I'll stop sharing my screen here.
Oh, yeah, there are no more questions for now, but was that it for you, Samora?
So that's it. So once you put everything onto the portal and you have everything, and it'll let you know that everything is there and submitted or not, you'll submit the application. It'll roughly take about 4 weeks to hear back when you've submitted it online, but they will send you a paper letter in the mail, letting you know that it's been either approved or denied, and you'll receive information about how much LAHEAP that you've received, or if it's just the utility discount program, which you'll hear more about soon, how much of that you've received, or if you've received that, and that'll just be a discount that'll be applied to your energy bill every month. And I'll let Robin continue.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Samora. I think you may have a question before. I think you said you were going to talk about some other programs. But I guess any general questions about LAHEAP or what Samora just demonstrated, please raise your hand in Zoom. First up, Mr. Thompson, thanks so much for joining. You have a question or a comment for the legal counsel?
Yes, I have a problem. February 1st, 2023, my apartment building caught fire and everything the whole building was cut off from electricity and gas. I'll cut right to the chase. I'm getting these exorbitant monthly bills from both electric and gas, and some exorbitant amount. So who and how can I talk to a specific person or program that will look through this for me?
Yeah, and I'll go first, Samora, sorry. I'll definitely put our number for legal counsel for the elderly in the chat so you can reach out to us because we can definitely look into that situation for you. And I'm sorry, Samora, you were gonna say?
No, yeah, that's a great option. You can also try reaching out to the Office of the Attorney General. Their office sometimes helps when it comes to some of those figuring out what's going on with those bills, especially if you are no longer like residing there and the bills are still coming, or if they're like too high, they can go through and work with the companies to figure out what exactly is happening because it's likely happening to the entire building. So yeah, you can always, contact us and we can work with you on an individual level. And then if necessary, we can always help you figure out who else can help figure out the issue.
Thank you. I'll do just that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ronald. Yes, if you all could put your the hotline number for the legal counsel. As always, we really appreciate it, you all. And thank you so much for sharing, Mr. Thompson. Our next question, again, anything Leap or Samora's demonstration is Ms. Jeanette. Thanks so much for joining. You have a question or comment?
Yes, thank you. I'd like to thank you ladies too for coming on. I had to step away for a few moments. And so I know you said it would take about 4 weeks if we do it online. If you mail it, is it quicker?
So that one is a little, that depends, right? It depends heavily on the mail system and how
Right.
quickly it'll get to them. So I've noticed that for some people, the mail has worked fairly fine. I think there are some other people who have used the mail before and use it every year and I've had no problems with it. The one thing that I do generally say is that if you decide to do it via the mail system to just after you've mailed it, contact 311, just verifying that they've received it. And then it shouldn't be too much of a hassle there, but you just want to make sure that it actually gets there. And that would be the only thing that I think would cause a delay. I think it takes roughly around the same amount of time. It'd still take you about 3 to 4 weeks to hear back, but as long as you make sure it gets there, you shouldn't have any problems.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jeanette. And you know what I will say is, we all do, have iPads and are able to utilize them to apply. And I definitely just, in my opinion, think that, online applications tends to be a little easier and give you some options and just some more explanations of a lot of the terms or things that they ask. So I definitely would try to apply online first if you all are able to. Let's see. We have a hand and then we have a question in the chat. Hey Ann, how's it going? You have a question?
I just wanted to ask one question. Does the iPad scan? And if so, will you show us that one day?
And we've done that in module 3, so I recommend you scan those documents using what we learned to scan the document using either method in the email. So you can do that, but I think, well, the legal counsel, they said if you take a picture and if it's not perfect, then that's okay, as long as the name and the account number is very visible.
Okay.
But I would definitely check out the mail app to scan the documents to maybe send to yourself, and then you can attach them to that part of the application. So I would try that. But if you would just want to take a picture, that's okay too, as long as it's
Thank you.
legible.
Okay. so
I muted myself, by the way, by accident. Darlene asks, is there an agency that will help with AC units, and does LEAP still make house calls? Oh,
Sorry about that. Robin, did you have an answer to that, or did you want me to answer?
yeah, I'm thinking of an agency that would help with AC units, but I can't recall one. I can definitely look into that and report back. Do you have any resources or can you think of any organization?
So if your AC is the only unit you have that is supposed to be pumping in AC, you can try contacting, unfortunately, the Department of Housing or the Department of Buildings, because they're the ones that can enforce, like, if you're supposed to be having electricity, or if you're supposed to be having a working AC unit, especially those really hot summer days, they they're the ones who are best able to evaluate that and will come out, and they do house calls. LAHEAP does not do any house calls. This is primarily just a energy assistance program. So it's just making sure that your energy bills can be discounted, or at least help you afford them, to make sure that your energy is running. So they unfortunately don't do anything with AC units.
thank you for answering that, you all. And definitely Google search. I just kind of searched that in Google a little bit, and I saw some options. I saw that DOE actually did kind of a little bit of that in the past, like 10, 15 years ago. So try calling DOE and see what programs or resources they may can direct you to. So I hope that helps. And Maggie, thanks so much for joining us. Ms. Stevens, you have a question or comment for the legal counsel?
I do. I have issues other than what we're discussing today, and I would like to make an appointment to talk with someone at the legal counsel. If I can get that number, I would appreciate it.
All right, and I'll be sure to put that in the chat. But I see you have a pen, so I'll give it to you right now. It's 202
Okay,
434
434
2120.
2120. Thank you so much.
Of course. Of course.
Thank you,
And
Ms. Stevens. Mhm.
And really quickly, I just want to share 3 programs you may be eligible for in addition to LAHEAP. Thank you, Samora, so much for taking us through the online application. You may be eligible for the Arrearage Management Program if you're currently a Pepco customer and you're participating in the Residential Aid Discount Program, and you have a minimum balance of $300 or more, and in the last 60 days, it's been past due. Under this program, you have the option of reducing or eliminating your outstanding balances. With this program, you'll receive a monthly credit or a matching payment that goes towards your unpaid account balance. And this credit is in place every month for a single year for 12 consecutive months. The next program is the Washington Gas Assistance, and you may be eligible for their Washington Gas Budget Plan. This is a plan that's administered by the Salvation Army, and it includes payment deferment. So if you're behind on your gas, this is a great program to look into. And then finally, if you are a United Healthcare beneficiary and you receive the United Healthcare U card, I wanted to tell you about the plan where every month you get a credit loaded onto your U card to help you pay for not only your utility bills, but also over-the-counter products and healthy food. So if you have United Healthcare, follow up with your United Healthcare case manager, because they can get you information about the U card if you don't already have one. So I will stop sharing. And I want to thank you, Alex, and thank all of you for your participation, and for allowing Samora and I to be here. And I want to see if you guys have any final questions before we go.
Once again, thank you, Samora and Robin, for sharing the information today. I really appreciate it. And I know it's very helpful for our seniors on the call, but also their friends and family, including myself as well. It's a great program, so we all should take advantage of it as well. Real quick before, if you all have any questions, if you have applied for LEAP or if you will apply for LEAP as a result of today's session, please raise your hand in Zoom. Again, I know folks that applied right there on the first, real fast, which I love. But again, if you have already applied for LEAP or if you are going to attempt to apply for LEAP, please raise your hand in Zoom. And Robin, I see a question in the chat. Do you mind just putting the names of the 3 additional programs you talked about into the chat?
Yes, of course, I'll do that right now.
Or if you say it, I can type it in.
Right, the Washington Gas Budget Plan,
Mhm.
the United Healthcare Utility Assistance, and then the Arrearage Management Program.
Yes, I hope I spelled arrearage right. But I'm assuming it's just a simple Google search of that particular program, and it will take you straight to their specific application or website to fill out those particular applications. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, wonderful. So I see we have about 10 hands for that question I had asked a little bit ago, which is great. So again, I hope all that are on the call are able to take advantage of the program as well, alongside with the other programs that Robin had just mentioned as well. She also put the hotline number for the legal counsel. So please make sure you all give them a call if you need assistance, not with anything, but with many different items. And I know it may be a little busy these days. Robin and Samora, do you all have any advice regarding the hotline number?
I would say call early and be persistent. We're always here to help, but you know, the need in DC is great, so don't give up. Call early in the morning, leave your name, a good callback number, and someone will definitely get back to you.
Thank you so much, Robin. Yes, in the past, I know it's been very, very busy. So I would, I think the last person that presented just said just try calling again, just to be able to, get in touch with the live person. So thank you. I still see you have some hands, but again, if you all can lower your hands if you would like. But if you have a question or a final comment for Robin or Samora today, please keep your hand raised or raise your hand if you have any final questions or thoughts for today's session. Okay. Geraldine, your hand is up. Any final questions or comments for today?
No, I meant to lower my hand. I don't have any questions. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I hope you get to take advantage, Geraldine. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So again, I see the legal counsel for the Elder Use Hotline is in the chat alongside with the programs that Robin had mentioned, and also quite a few times the website link to the LEAP application. It's also in our daily email. So if you tap on the link in our daily email, it will take you to that website for that application. So again, make sure you all, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. And so I just wanted to say like one last thing with the online application is as you're going through it and you enter in all that information I showed you, it's going to take you to another page, an apply page where you can upload all of those photos. Like I said, It's very self-explanatory. If at any point you have any issues with it, you can always contact them, but it'll give you a very easy spot in which to like attach the picture or use your iPad and either take the picture or scan. And so I don't want anyone to be too afraid to do it. The online application really is super simple. So please don't hesitate to either reach out to the Energy Assistance Program or to our office if you're having any trouble with any of that, okay?
Thank you all so much. Again, make sure you all stay on to complete our poll for today. But let's thank Robin and Samora so much for talking about and for exploring the LEAP program with us today. Let's all say thank you, and we'll see you next time, you all. And thanks so much.
Thank you,
Thank
ladies.
you so
Thank
much.
Thank you very
Come
much.
again.
Appreciate it.
Again.
Thank you,
Thank
ladies.
Very
you.
Have a
informative.
great day,
Very
everyone.
much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good
Robin, thank you,
program.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. God
It
bless.
helps. See?
so much, you all.
Gracie.
Yeah.